Danny Gilfillan for Boxing News joined for the first time in a long time with Ben Shalom. Ben, you're back in a big way, boxing on the BBC, British heavyweight title fight. Talk to me about, especially with the delay, how much of a relief it is. We're 48 hours out from the return, 20 years boxing on terrestrial TV and the biggest broadcaster in the country.
It's huge. I'm very excited. It's a massive platform, it's a massive opportunity, and the fight, the British heavyweight title, is warming up really nicely. I think both guys are under an enormous amount of pressure. I've been with both guys since debut, different routes, different ways to get here, been here before, but a huge amount of pressure, huge opportunity, but what a way to kick off. And we're expecting huge numbers on Saturday night.
We'll come on to the fight itself, but I want to stick with the BBC theme. Huge numbers will be on this. Is it different from a promoter's point of view, catering for a BBC audience to a Sky Sports audience? You attract people who aren't maybe traditional boxing fans, maybe massive sports fans. Does the product have to be catered differently? Does that come into your thinking?
It does a little bit. We've had a bit more involvement in everything really, and a bit more autonomy on the boxing side, and that's good and that's nice. But I think, we have to cater for a national audience. You'll see that with the talent team on Saturday night. This is Saturday night entertainment, mainstream, and we got to make sure that boxing's here to stay on the BBC. But yeah, of course, every broadcast has different ambitions, different business models, different ambitions in the way that they want to be perceived as well. So, but a huge opportunity in front of a huge audience, and the fighters are the ones that have to take that opportunity.
Ben, there's a lot of speculation online amongst boxing fans. How many people in the UK are watching DAZN regularly? Whatever that number may be, you would imagine the people watching BBC dwarfs it. How do you capitalise on that viewership advantage you will probably have over competitors?
I think for us it's about creating household names. At Boxer, we've always wanted to make boxing accessible. We want to take it to mainstream audiences. We started in the grassroots of the sport, and that's something we feel very strongly about. But look, it's huge pressure on the fighters as well. There's nowhere to hide. You have a bad night on BBC, it's going to affect your career. You have a great night on BBC, you can become a superstar overnight, and that's what Francesca Hennessy and Frazer, Clarke and everyone else on the card has to remember. But yeah, pressure's on. Huge platform. And for boxing, it's sometimes seen as the ugly sister. It's sometimes seen as a murky sport. An opportunity to put on the national broadcaster doesn't come along very often. To be specific, it's taken 20 years for them to be convinced, and so I take the opportunity as a great privilege, but there's pressure to make sure that we make sure boxing stays on the national broadcaster, because this is what's going to create and take the sport right to the very top. This is what's going to inspire the next generation. This is what's going to bring in the sponsors. This is what's going to put it on front pages and back pages, and it all starts on Saturday night. It should be the start of a very special journey.
Now, Frazer, Clarke, Jeamie, TKV, a lot of boxing press conferences can be a bit of a chore at times. Fighters are making weight, they don't want to give too much away. That certainly wasn't the case there. Things have really ignited between these two over the past couple of weeks. It was a fight on paper people were looking forward to anyway, with that bit extra spice. Does that add to what we're going to see Saturday night?
Look, did I expect it to kick off the way it has this week? I didn't. I think Jeamie is on absolute smoke. He's in position where he's pissed off. He's pissed off. He's a B-side. He's pissed off. It's Frazer Clarke against Jeamie TKV. He's pissed off. He's not British heavyweight champion. I need to stop saying swearing. I'm on the BBC now. But it's a huge opportunity for both of them. I think Jeamie feels very strongly. It's very personal to him that he wants to have his name in lights. He feels he's been underestimated his whole career. He feels like he beat David Adelaide this year. Frazer Clarke, having seen what Fabio Wardley's gone on to achieve, will have the bit between his teeth and be thinking what could have been had he got the nod last year in March. So, huge opportunity, a lot of animosity, but that's what you expect. There's a huge amount of pressure on both guys. I'm sure they'll be respectful after the fight, but right now, one man standing in the way of another man's dreams. That's how it feels. That's what it really is. And we're watching that unfold in front of us. A huge opportunity, but the entertainment is going to be unbelievable on Saturday night. And you're going to get two guys going into the ring, putting it all on the line for their careers, for their families, for everything they've ever dreamed of. And that's what the British heavyweight title is all about.
Jeamie says Frazer's fighting for his career on Saturday night. Do you agree with that?
Listen, Frazer Clarke turned over with a huge amount of expectation, and to be doing to be here. I think if he wins on Saturday night, he equals Joe Joyce's record for the least number of fights to a British heavyweight title. He fought Fabio Wardley that first time in his 8th professional fight. So, for me, he's done a lot in a short career. But he wants to get to the top of the sport. And so, is it extremely important that he makes a statement on Saturday night? Absolutely. Especially on the national broadcaster. It's an opportunity for him to really elevate himself. He's an extremely popular lad. He's one of the most popular heavyweights we have in this country, and I know the nation will be behind him on Saturday night.
We look forward to it. Ben, just want to circle back to Chris Eubank Jr.'s defeat to Conor Benn. Chris was very magnanimous in defeat, as he always has been throughout his career. Have you had any conversations with Chris since the fight? It's been, 10 days now? How's he feeling? Any early talks about what the next move might be?
Look, he's extremely angry about what happened. No fighter likes to be defeated, and he accepts it, and he's man enough to accept it. But after the dust is settled, the feeling is recover, make sure things are put right, so that next time you get in the ring, it's the real Chris Eubank Jr. that we're watching, and that's what I believe will happen. I believe it needs to be at the right weight going forward. And look, he's box office. He's needed in this in this country. He's put on back-to-back, maybe the past 4 fights, some of the biggest shows this country has had in recent years, and it's been down to him. And he'll be back, and obviously was a bitter pill to swallow, particularly in the rivalry, and we'll see what happens next.
I saw comments from you where there was a feeling in the days and hours before the fights that maybe this wasn't the best Chris Eubank Jr. Was there ever any consideration of maybe not going ahead with the fight, or were we in too deep at that stage?
Look, Chris is an ultimate professional. He went into that first fight not 100% and put on one of the greatest fights that we've seen in the past decade. So he's a great professional, and he did everything he could. But it wasn't to be, and it wasn't enough on the night.
I hate to bring you back into the whole he said, she said, but Frank Smith's had a bit to say this week about your relationship with Chris. He said Chris essentially doesn't want you speaking for him, that he's only involved with you because it financially benefits Chris. I know you're not someone who gets involved with this, but just a response to those comments. And what is the state of your arrangement with Chris?
Not interested in responding to him.
Moving on, Adam Azim has gone back and forth with Richards and Hitchens. What's the early conversations about Adam's next step like? We're hoping to see a big step up, maybe towards that world title.
He'll be there on Saturday night. He's got huge news to come. He's another fighter that wants to take advantage of fighting in front of the national audience, and he is the fighter that can ignite British boxing. For me, him, Moses Atoma, the best 2 talents in British boxing, guys that can go and unify divisions, and that division is a money division. That 140 division, he's coming for everything. I think he's going to be coming for the big names. He's got a huge headline event at the end of January, so and before Ramadan on BBC 2, so that'll be announced next.
Very last one, Mikaela Meyer says need to offer a bit more if you want to get in with Lauren Price. Is that a fight you'll push to make? Will you go back with a revised offer to Mikaela for that fight?
Look, we offered her more than they offered for Lauren to go out there, and Lauren has all the belts, so it's more than what we got offered. We're happy to do it in the UK. We'd love to do it in the UK. It's a massive fight. It's undisputed. It's the 2 best in the division. Let's get it on.
Ben Shalom, thanks for being this. Looking forward to Saturday night.
Thank you very much.